Last week I did a live stream where I was unboxing several new Halloween drugstore makeup collections, and I wanted to do a dedicated video about them as well, just in case you weren't able to hop on the live. But even if you did, we were experiencing some quality issues, so this will give everybody a chance for a closer and clearer look at these collabs. So today we'll be talking about the Profusion Peanuts collab, the Wet n Wild Nightmare Before Christmas collection, as well as the Lottie London Harley Quinn collab. But first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Miranda. This channel is dedicated to budget beauty. If that sounds like your vibe, hit subscribe. Let's kick it off with the Profusion Peanuts collaboration. Now, I will be the first one to say that in my opinion, Profusion usually knocks it out of the park with their collaborations with movies and characters and TV shows and whatnot. And Charlie Brown and the Great Big Pumpkin is definitely a staple in a lot of our childhood Halloween memories. I know as a millennial it is. So they definitely nailed what would be a good theme, maybe? I'm just a little underwhelmed with the execution. One of the major reasons why this collection fell short for me is that I felt they put a little bit more effort into the accessories versus the makeup. So let's just go product by product. So first off, we have the eyeshadow palette. This is a 31 shade palette. Usually it's safe to say that the eyeshadow palettes in Profusion collections are always like the star of the show, and I'm just not feeling that with this one. First off, we have sort of a similar packaging vibe as their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection, where we have this transparent cover and there's supposed to be things like floating in between the plastic. They have like these little loose parts behind like flimsy cellophane plastic, and they're supposed to float and shake around, but they don't really do that. With the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles palette, it was like goo floating in between and it was hard plastic. So this is just kind of like, I don't know, it seemed like they cut corners on that. But let's talk about the actual palette. Now, I feel like they were very ambitious with the size of this palette. You can see we have so many shades, but the pans are tiny. And in general, I don't feel like the quality is necessarily up to par with, for example, their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle palette or even their Jurassic Park collab palette. It's not awful. We still get a decent amount of pigmentation from these shades. They are buildable, they're blendable, but some of the mattes are rather chalky, and some of the shimmer shades, which usually Profusion does really well, are like too stiff to really get a nice, smooth, opaque finish. So you really have to end up building up the color. So that's my first thing. The second thing is, when we relate this back to the Peanuts theme, is this giving Peanuts? Is this giving the Great Big Pumpkin, Charlie Brown? Is it giving Halloween? I almost feel like they put too many shades in this palette where the theme kind of gets lost. It ends up just looking like a colorful palette, almost a rainbow palette. It's fun to play with, especially if you don't have a lot of these bold, bright colors in your collection already. I did use it on my eyes today, and it was fine. It just wasn't impressive, and I often find myself impressed with Profusion, so that's why it was kind of a little bit of a letdown. Now, the thing about this Peanuts collaboration is it seems like everything comes with a limited edition pin. So I took most of these off of the packages when I was opening them up, but we're getting like kind of a collect them all situation. We have a Linus, obviously a Snoopy. I actually really like that one. So these are all just enamel pins that come as collectibles with these products. There is this really cute bat-shaped Peanuts makeup bag with Snoopy on it. Pretty neat. And there is a brush set. The brush set though is kind of lame. I'm just gonna say it. It's literally just a black sparkly handle that says Peanuts, and then the bristles are purple and orange. Now, this accessory kit was actually kind of cute. This is their Pumpkin Blend 2-piece blending sponge set with a sponge holder. So the sponge holder looks like a cup of coffee with the Charlie Brown pattern on it, and then we have a candy corn sponge and a little pumpkin sponge. But let's get back to the makeup. So we have this 3-piece chrome liquid eye topper set, and these I feel like are probably the most interesting thing in this collection makeup-wise. These are duochrome eyeshadow toppers. You could definitely use them alone, but they are slightly sheer, and you don't want to build these up too much on the eye because they are that type of metallic formula that will end up looking crumbly if you over apply. In fact, I put the pinkish orange in my inner corner today, and I do feel like it looks a little crackly. You know what I mean? But I feel like the shades make sense for the theme. We have like a very Woodstock yellowy gold. We have a purplish blackish duochrome, and then the pink and orange. And the packaging is very cute. We've got candy sprinkles inside the tops. So I feel like these hit the theme the best out of everything that we have, makeup-wise. We also have this holographic highlighter. I'm not opening this because I know that it's just gonna look like a pale lilac highlighter, and I want to be able to give this away or donate it because I don't really want it in my collection. But yeah, just kind of a general metallic purple highlighter, which is pretty on theme. Now these next two products just did not make sense to me, and that's also why I'm not opening them. There is this Magic Mummy set with an illuminating face primer and setting spray. I don't feel like this really makes sense to include in a collection like this because for me, when I have a limited edition themed collection, I want everything to exude that vibe. I just feel like this ends up being normal products in Peanuts packaging, which for me, I think isn't special enough to be included in a collection like this. And again, they're kind of making this pin situation a collect them all game. It says includes limited edition enamel pin, collect all 10. So they've kind of incentivized you to buy this entire collection for the pins. And the pins end up being the exciting part of the collection versus the actual products. Now these I think are very cute and I would say are maybe worth picking up. These are the Candy Rush Candy Scented Lip Oils, and they look like little wrapped pieces of hard candy. Like this I can get behind. Even though they are pretty sheer, I think that the candy scent is obviously on theme with Halloween, and the packaging is just so damn cute. Now, I do want to point out, I had COVID a week and a half ago and I completely lost my sense of smell. I can smell these relatively strongly and I do not have my entire sense of smell back. For reference, I took a shower with Herbal Essences products the other day and I could barely smell the essence of fruit. And y'all know how strong Herbal Essences is. So the fact that I can smell these as if I had my scent back only give me a hint at how strong they are for people who don't have an issue smelling. So they're probably very strong. I'm just gonna say that. And yes, they are kind of that artificially candy flavor. So this one is strawberry. Right now, to me, they smell pleasant, but I don't know if I would agree if I had my entire sense of smell. And then we have orange. Yeah, I mean, it smells fine. But I think that these are clever. They obviously knocked it out of the park in terms of the packaging, and it just makes sense. Whereas the illuminating primer to me does not make sense in a Halloween Peanuts collection context. And I say this about a lot of limited edition collections, Halloween or otherwise, but when they're based on like a movie or a character or a book or whatever the case may be, I am looking for great packaging first of all. I think that's what makes it stand out among your collection, but I'm also looking for products that make sense in terms of the vibe of the collection or the vibe of the TV show it's based on, the movie. They also have these Peanuts face and body gems, but they're all just teardrop shaped. They're large and small teardrops in like an iridescent glowy color. And we also have this Peanuts Apple Bobbing Nourishing Lip Mask, and I'm assuming this is supposed to look like a candy apple. And at first I was kind of put off by the color of this lip mask. It's very orange. I don't even feel like this is caramel orange, but I don't know. I haven't eaten a caramel apple in a long time. I have actually dipped into this though, as you can see, and it's pretty nourishing. It actually feels pretty good on the lips, so I might keep this at my desk. Oh, and then of course we do have a mirror. I will say I love Profusion mirrors. I have a ton of their collaboration mirrors. This one is kind of small though, but it is pumpkin Charlie Brown theme, and of course it comes with one of their enamel pins and a candy corn keychain. Oh my gosh, it's baby Snoopy on a pumpkin. That is so freaking cute. But again, I'm getting more excited about the pins than the makeup, and I feel like that says a lot about the collection. In this entire collection, I feel like there are only two things that I would say maybe you should go pick up, and one of them is the 2-piece blending sponge set, solely because this travel coffee cup for your sponge is very cute. And that's also something that you're not going to have to throw away. You're not going to use it up like makeup. You're eventually going to have to throw away the sponge. So that's something that will last you. And then these little candy lip oils, granted you're not super sensitive to fragrance because I cannot accurately describe the level of fragrance, but I'm assuming that it's strong. But I just cannot get over how cute this candy packaging is. Yeah, I can smell that. The next Drugstore Halloween makeup collab we're going to be talking about is the Wet n Wild Nightmare Before Christmas collection. Now this one is a little more hit or miss for me with more hits, but still definitely some hot takes and strong opinions. With this Wet n Wild collection, they really did just slap the characters on the normal Wet n Wild packaging, which I feel is a little bit cop-outy. It doesn't make it seem super special. Whereas, for example, you know, we have candy-shaped lip oil in the Peanuts collection, but this is all just like the normal palettes that Wet n Wild puts their products in, and then they printed characters on the plastic. Like, I need a balance here. I need a balance of aesthetic and a strong theme. I don't know. Am I asking too much? And this is the conversation that I want to have. Does this excite you, just having Sally on this blush trio? I feel like even if they made the plastic black, that would have been better, because let me show you this. This is the Nightmare Before Christmas lip and cheek color, and this is the normal Wet n Wild lip and cheek color. You know, like, it just takes away a little bit from the experience of using a limited edition collection. Also, I don't know why, but the Nightmare Before Christmas one, the printing is like flaking off. Now this collection, if you buy it in its entirety, ships in the cutest coffin-shaped Nightmare Before Christmas packaging. And I feel like they put more effort into this box than the actual product packaging, because the box is super cool and I was so excited. And then I opened the box and I'm like, meh. So let's start out with the eyeshadow palette again. It looks almost like a summer palette to me for some reason, and I don't know why. I do see where some of these shades are coming from. Like this blue is sort of like Sally's skin, as well as this kind of magenta is like her dress. There's also a mix of finishes in here. We have two pressed glitters, this holographic silver and this gold, and then we have this cream white shade. Like, it's actually a cream shadow in here. Within this palette itself, the shades are a little hit or miss. I don't feel like the formula is super consistent. Like, this pinky taupe is really nice and buttery, but then you get down to this matte blue and it's a little bit stiffer and you kind of have to build it up. I don't feel like these are as good as their normal Color Icon shadow palettes. And if I were to see this in a store, I just don't feel like I'd be super excited to play with these shades. Let me know what you think. My favorite shade in this entire palette is this kind of muddy green. And then I do like the pressed glitters. I would have loved those in like their own single pots. Now let's go back to these lip and cheek colors, because I actually really like these. I love the Wet n Wild lip and cheek color formula. I used it for the first time in my $50 makeup challenge that I did, I think 1 or 2 months ago. And I feel like these shades are very on theme. We have this deep purple, which I'm actually wearing today. I have it both on my cheeks and on my lips underneath a lip gloss. I do find that these work best on the lips if you don't apply them in like an opaque layer, but rather I put it on my finger and kind of blurred it onto my lips, and it's way more comfortable that way. Don't use this as a liquid lipstick. So I really like this deep plummy color, and this is not something that they have like in their normal lip and cheek color collection. There's also this burnt orange, which is surprisingly wearable. I think that if you wrapped this up with like a gold eyeshadow look, it would look very nice, except the fact that the packaging is disintegrating. And then we have this sort of dusty rose shade, which would actually be really nice as an everyday fall blush shade. Now I want to give some context to my packaging gripe about these and the rest of the collection and how they look exactly like Wet n Wild's normal packaging besides a little character printed on them. The normal lip and cheek colors cost $4.78 at Walmart, less than $5. These Nightmare versions are $6.98, more than $2 more, and we're really getting the same, if not worse, packaging because of the disintegration. So that extra $2 is literally just to have the character printed on them. And that's why I'm like, you couldn't have done anything different. You couldn't have made the tops the characters or even just made them black. I don't know. That's why I'm like, okay, it's a little bit of a cop-out because we're paying, you know, basically their licensing fee for them, and that's kind of where the premium is coming in, but we're not necessarily getting premium packaging to go along with the theme. Like that's my gripe here. But at least I like this actual makeup. So it shouldn't have to be a trade-off. I would like both in a limited edition collection like this, but it is what it is. We also have sparkly lip oils in this collection. We have a purple shade called Too Faced and a green shade called Truth or Scare. And I was actually kind of into these until I realized that they are pH adjusting. And we're gonna get into this again a little bit later in this video, but I am over pH adjusting products. They were cool for a second. I've done a couple videos with pH color blushes and lip balms. I'm done. They all look the same. So I actually topped off my lips today, which was the purple lip and cheek color, with what I thought was going to be a purple lip oil. And at first it was nice and purple, and then as time went on, it just turned more of this hot pink color. And the green, I mean, at least the green ends up turning pink because you wouldn't really want a green on your lips. I would have rather them give us a purple lip oil and then maybe even a brownish lip oil or a sparkly white lip oil. I did not need the pH color changing technology. In my live stream unboxing this collection, the products that everyone seemed to think were the most worth picking up were these liquid eyeliners. There is a matte black liquid liner, but they just sent me their shimmers, and they sent me two shades. So they have one which is Zero to Hero, which is a translucent shimmery white. It does not go on completely solid, so personally I would use this more as a liner topper. Now the green one I do think is actually worth picking up, especially if you like a little bit out there looks for the Halloween season. This one's called Dare to Play, and it is a shimmery Oogie Boogie green. Speaking of Oogie Boogie, we also have this sticky serum primer with 5% niacinamide. What does that sound like? This seems like Wet n Wild's version of the e.l.f. Power Grip primer, but I was looking on their website and I don't feel like they have this primer in a normal product. Like, this is the first time I'm seeing a sticky primer from them. Now I'm excited to see a gripping primer from Wet n Wild. I just wish it wasn't a limited edition product. So I'm curious to see if this is like a preview to something we're gonna get later in the permanent collection. It is definitely fun because it is a gooey, sticky substance that is green. So it's pretty Halloween-y. We also got this blush lighter palette, which is a 3-shade palette. There is a gold highlighter and then 2 blushes that are definitely giving Sally vibes. This, I feel like the theme is very strong. The colors match what I would expect a Sally themed blush to look like. Personally, I'm not a fan of multi-shade compacts. I feel like they get messy. It's really hard to like just pick up one color. And especially with this type of shimmery highlight in the same compact, you're gonna end up getting that gold shimmer everywhere. But it's on theme, that's for sure. Now this product confused me. We have a highlight and contour wand, and it only comes in 1 shade, or so it looks on the Walmart site. So right off the bat, the contour is not gonna work for everyone. It is on the lighter side. However, it's cool toned, which I was actually excited about. But again, it lends itself to the question, did including a contour stick make sense if only a few skin tone shades can wear it? So we have a cool contour on one side, and then we have literally a solid white highlight. So that made me think this is not meant to be a serious makeup product. This was meant to do Halloween makeup. But the thing is, it's not necessarily marketed that way as far as like a Halloween makeup product. It says, apply the lighter shade to highlight the features and the contour shade to define. You want me to put literally white on my face? And I'm trying to think practically here. Like, is there anybody, like super pale people, that this would work for? And maybe there are, because I've seen very light, very white tinted highlighters before, but this is like opaque white. And you can blend it out a bit, but it still stays pretty solid. So I don't know, you'd have to be very fair, I would think, for this to look normal on your skin. Obviously, it doesn't work for me. I just think that the inclusion of this one shade of this one product in this limited edition collection is just kind of weird. Now, this last product I'm going to talk about, I actually really like, and I didn't expect to. This is their Glitter Body Illuminator. It's just this beautiful, like, milky serum with body shimmer that shifts from pink to blue to purple, and I just really like the look. It's definitely not an everyday product for me. This is something that I would wear to a festival or some other occasion with like a fun, funky vibe. I thought that this was actually pretty cool and on brand. We have Zero the dog on the packaging. So it's supposed to be a little like ghosty shimmer. You know what I mean? I thought that this made sense. There are a few products that were not sent to me that are part of this collection. In fact, one of the slots in my PR package was just missing a product. I thought I dropped something and then I didn't. They have a tubing mascara, which again, I want to see a tubing mascara from Wet n Wild, so maybe it's a preview. It looks like there are also some eyeshadow sticks that they did not send me, which actually look pretty nice. And finally, we have the Lottie London Harley Quinn collection. Now, I was very excited to see this land in my mailbox because I actually did want to recreate Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn look for Halloween. So some of these products will come in handy, others will not. My favorite product in this collection that I would say is worth picking up, especially if you want to do a Harley Quinn look for Halloween, is the Jumbo Heart Eyeliner. So on one end, we have a pretty thick but tapered felt tip liner. I was very nervous when opening this that I would not be able to get thin lines, but the point is very, very thin. So with control, you can actually get some thin lines with these, or you can stamp it on for a much more dramatic thick line. And then on the other end, we have a heart stamp. Very cutesy. I actually really like this. It's definitely on theme, and it's definitely not something that I would necessarily use every day, but the stamp actually works really well. Like, it gives you a nice clean heart shape. So I liked this, and the formula is nice too. It's very deep black. Now they also have this Jumbo eyeliner pencil. This is like a twist up crayon style pencil. This is definitely going to be more helpful for Halloween makeup. So on the box, they showed the eye look that Harley Quinn wears in the new Folie à Deux movie, kind of like the clown line through the eye makeup. And in general, I feel like having a jumbo black liner like this is helpful when doing certain Halloween makeup looks where you're kind of filling in larger areas with black, and you don't want to do that with a tiny little eyeliner pencil that you normally wear on a day-to-day basis. We also have this Puddin' Rollerball Lip Oil. I'm not opening it. I'm not swatching it because, you guessed it, it's pH color changing. I know what it's going to look like, and now I already have the Wet n Wild one. I'm good. Definitely gimmicky, and I feel like this gimmick is overplayed now. Like I said, it was cool. I've made a couple TikToks with color changing products, and I was like, whoa, so neat. I didn't expect it. I expect it now, so the allure has worn off. Now let's talk about these Lottie London Harley Quinn palettes. There are two, and they definitely give the vibe of Harley Quinn, both as a character as well as Folie à Deux as a movie, especially with like these red tones. And when I was unboxing these on my live stream, it seemed like what people were most excited about, because these are definitely on theme, but they're not too themed that you couldn't just wear them regularly in the fall. However, the swatches left much to be desired. So with this one called Toxic Love, I was most excited about because I love kind of a burnt red eyeshadow look. And the first two shades really tricked me. I thought that we were gonna get some really good formulas in this. The brown Harley's Havoc shade and the burgundy Riot Rouge, very soft, very pigmented, very blendable. The rest of the palette just felt stiff, wasn't really delivering pigment, and especially this black color, Gotham Glam, where is it? Where did it go? That like was the nail in the coffin for me. If this was a nice rich black, I could have gotten over some of these shimmers being a little weaker, but that black was so abysmal that like I just can't see myself using this palette. That was definitely a major disappointment. Now this other one, Pouts and Pigtails, was actually much better in terms of performance and swatching. These shades just swatched a lot more consistently for me and decent enough that I could totally see myself using these, especially with some of these shimmers, I would use them as like all over lid colors. Is it the best drugstore shadow formula I've tried? No, but it was a heck of a lot better than this other one. So if these shades speak to you, then it wouldn't be a total waste. Other products from the Harley Quinn collection that I am not opening because I just don't really feel like they're my vibe. There is this Crimson Craze Hydrating Primer, which is like a serum primer that's super red. Again, I'm not excited by primers in a limited edition collection. And then we also have this shimmery highlight called Jester's Jewel. This is really pretty. I'm not into glittery highlights, so it's just not for me. So I'm keeping it close so that way I can pass it on to a friend. Now this next product I accidentally threw away because I was so disappointed with it. I threw it back in the box and then I threw the boxes away. And I wish that I had the footage from the live stream that wasn't so low quality because it was crazy how disappointing this reveal was. So it's this Harley Quinn Transforming Glitter Lipstick. This is a matte liquid lipstick that you put on. You're supposed to mush your lips together to reveal glitter. Like it just appears after you mush your lips together. That did not happen for me. I put it on, I let it dry because that's part of the instructions. And then when I mushed my lips together, I got like 4 specks of glitter. It was nothing like the photos. It was so underwhelming. And on top of that, it was a very traditional feeling matte liquid lipstick, which I don't think is very comfortable. So that was really disappointing because I've seen products like these from higher end brands where you mush your lips together and you get just a beautiful layer of glitter over the lipstick. And that just did not happen. I don't know how they took these product photos because on top of that, after I got 4 little specks, I tried to do it again, and because it's a matte liquid lipstick that you have let dry, you end up pulling lipstick off. Like it ended up making it look patchy. So now I had a little bit more glitter because I pressed harder, but there's also lipstick missing now and it's all patchy and crackly. So that one made me so mad that I threw it back in the box and then I was cleaning up my beauty room and I threw the box away. But that was definitely a disappointment. And then we just have this diamond shaped blending sponge from the Harley Quinn collection. I'm not a big fan of like specialty shaped sponges. I find that they make it kind of harder to use and apply your makeup, but it's cute. Now you may think that I went in a little hard today and I was super negative with this review, and I gotta say I was just underwhelmed, and I think it's because I was unboxing these back to back and I was underwhelmed back to back. And I do want to say, if there's anything that I held up today that you think is super cute and you think that you would use and you want to go buy, don't feel bad about that. That's awesome. Go grab it. Again, it just got me thinking, what are we looking for out of limited edition makeup collaborations? And that's the question that I would love to leave you with to answer in the comments. Are you looking for specialty packaging like this candy lip oil? This I think is actually very, very cute. Are you looking for more of a color theme that relates to movie characters like the Sally blush palette? Are you looking for a balance of both? For me, it's personally a balance of both. But that's what I'd love to chat about with y'all in the comments, as well as anything specific that I talked about today. If there was anything in these collections that you loved, you hated, let me know what you think. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. If you want to see a makeup collab that I think Profusion did really right, check out this video where I review their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection. I'll see you over there. Bye.